Rifkin. Guys, I'm sorry. It's 4 a.m. and it's cold. I got a blanket on. Deal with it. I didn't want to do my lighting today. I just woke up. We're here for 2 best of 5s. I'm going to get comfy for it. But we are here for GFINITY nonetheless, regardless of time. Rain or shine, Base Trade TV will try to be there. And we got some good matches for you. That's already been a pretty interesting series. And we'll see where Iron Fortress takes us. As before we do the player intros, again, remind you guys that the Koreans have actually seen this map quite a bit, through GSL and other things in Korea. They've used this map for a lot longer than what we've had available to the latter. So, in the bottom left corner of the map, it's going to be Dead Pixels, Red Protoss, Patience.
In the top left, as the blue Zerg, it's JaeDong.
Wait, did I say top left, or bottom right? Man, I'm having one of those mornings. Whatever, doesn't matter, we're past it. Okay, so, one of the things, just again going back at that point, is we've been seeing Iron Fortress pop up a lot in this tournament, and it took a long time to really just put the pieces together, but with so many Koreans being left in this tournament, so many folks who have played in GSL and seen this through probably whatever events in Korea, it's actually not that strange that this map actually doesn't get vetoed. There's experience and practice on it, whereas for a lot of the Europeans or North Americans or anyone else that would be competing, they've only just seen this map for the first time through the ladder introduction this season.
Yes. Usually I would talk about how the thirds are hard to take and whatnot, but JaeDong going for a little bit of another cheesy opener. So 14-14, gas first and pool, is going to be quite aggressive and is going to, well, be more about getting the natural than getting the third, of course, and whether Patience can or cannot. Now, Patience has SimCity kind of set up, at least on the left side with some X-Corp, and I guess the pylon too. But he doesn't have like the wall that you could have against Zerg at the front of your main ramp. It makes it just a little bit easier to wall off and emergency wall off, and well, just get a zealot and block, right?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate too because Patience is going to scout this dead last.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
You scout this first, at least you get an inkling of an idea what's going on. If you scout the gas, more so, you see everything pulled off, you know exactly that there's a Ling Ellen coming, but I don't know, Zomgrub. I'm feeling pretty bad for Patience. He cancels the Zealot to go for that faster Nexus. And
oh no.
That actually might even just be game. I don't know. He's definitely gonna have to. He's gonna have the struggles to deal with the natural base. The Mothership Core can eventually clean up the Lings, sure, but it's not gonna be 4 or 6 Lings. JaeDong's going pretty heavy on this.
Oh, JaeDong doesn't know where he is either.
Oh my God, you're right. Well,
he's
gonna
about
find out in a
to.
Yeah. But still, I think timing's still gonna be on his side. I mean, the Lings are a little bit off, but not by much.
Yeah. Patience checks the third too first, I think. So only now does he realize how late the natural hatchery is.
Yeah, he's gonna panic to put a wall down. He just doesn't have the money for it. That's the problem. I mean, if he gets that full wall down, JaeDong can still probably tear it down.
Right.
But obviously, not dealing with the wall is the best case scenario, and he's not gonna have to.
Okay, well there you go. So, I mean, your choices right here are pretty difficult. So we will try and wall off even still. But JaeDong has gotten into the base. Speed is finished. There is a reason to continue attacking here and getting more Lings.
That mineral walk was actually really good. Those probes did a great job of helping protect that stalker. But that's
whoa,
not a wall off on the left side. Yeah, JaeDong's are attacking the pylon because he thought it was a wall too, but it's not. He's gonna go for the pylon now for the supply block. Gonna go for the pylon for the depower of these gateways. But still, that is hilarious and unfortunate for Patience.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you can get the natural wall up and secured and, like, you know, a sentry out too, like, that could be game, and that could look really bad for JaeDong. But JaeDong has already gotten what he needed to start this ball rolling, and you can choose, basically, to throw down a third base and drone or more Lings. And in this situation, of course, I would say make more Lings. You get 2 free gateways, get 2 pylons, get a Nexus cancel, and you're going to be able to contain Patience on 1 base. Like, whatever he does on 1 base, you should know it's coming, right? Like, you shouldn't get surprised by a 4 gate after denying a second base for so long.
I mean, Patience is a good player. I've got some faith, but I don't know what you do in this situation, Zomgrub. I mean, he's got good SimCity. I'll give him that much. That's without question. But this is a situation where... Even okay, let's say he is on 1 base for a little bit of time. JaeDong is behind the drones, admittedly. It takes some time, even with his natural base being down, to actually catch up to this. But I just can't imagine Patience cleans this up anytime soon. Where's the Mothership Core just trying to kill these Lings?
It's a very nice build. I really enjoy this build, really. In the hands of really great Zergs, it can be so flexible despite being very committed. in the early game. So instead of making the last like 10 lings, for instance, that all could have gone into maybe just a bit of a faster third, and the economy, as long as you get something from it, isn't so bad. And it's kind of what we see here. Now, Jin got a lot from it. So the only thing he has to worry about right now is denying that the natural as long as possible, of course, but maybe being a little afraid of an all-in. It doesn't look like Patience is going to do that. He is 3-gate expanding back in Wing.
I like this, though. That one pylon looks a little bit awkward, but it's specifically to help the force field. A couple of the force fields do whiff, though, despite how good the setup for this was. It's going to lose one of the sentries, at least. Out of juice for the ones on the backside, too. The Zealot's going to be the bodyguard. Not going to be good enough, though. A couple more Zealots warping in, and I can't believe these sentries are still alive.
Okay, there we go. I was about to say, you're really not going to get the second one? That's the... Okay. Well, JaeDong did just give away all of the units, all of the attacking units on the field, so it is a little bit worrying, you know? They do have 3 gateways, and while they are spending 400 minerals in the Nexus, I mean, if they had a proxy pylon, you could be a little, you know, a bit in trouble.
Look at Patience's resources lost real quick there. Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways, JaeDong doesn't go for a third. He goes for Roaches and Burrow. I mean, again, like, this is... He could have gone for the faster third, and maybe actually gotten away with it, as Patience is only just now moving out. But by going for Roaches and Burrow this early, he's going to be able to continue harassing and definitely take care of any attack that was on the way. So there wouldn't be, you know, wouldn't be detection.
I can't believe Patience is in a situation where he feels comfortable enough to counterattack, but setting up the means to do so with some pylons.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think a lot of Protoss have to deal with this on like a daily basis. I think we've just witnessed, because I have 2 of the streams open, right? I just do. Right? GFINITY, I think Hydra just did it versus SOS. JaeDong just did it against Patience, and I think in the Kespa Cup, which is still going on, Parting just had it happen to him. So a lot of Protoss deal with this build a lot of times, and you got to know that they're on a low drone count trying to make up for that.
In fairness to Parting, though, we've seen a lot of people hit him with like these really weird link targets, right? Like I always go back to 32 Boys 1 Cup. Him versus Departure is still got to be one of my favorite series of all time when it comes to PvZ.
It was such a surprise. Departure coming out first in that group. Like, I still remember it. I definitely do.
Yeah, but it's just more so like the slow link attacks, the earlier pools. Oh, this is kind of a cool trap, he said. I like this out of JaeDong a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So he'll force field this off, and this is kind of cute, but surprise baited. Has to burn a lot more force fields just to get away from this, and for JaeDong, that was such a small non-cost to burn almost every force field available to Patience.
Patience was thinking, oh my god, I caught him while he was droning. Haha, I'm so good. And then suddenly like a bunch of roaches come out in the way. So he has to emergency recall probably as JaeDong is setting up to attack the front. So they do have a couple of cannons going down, but they're not ready. They're not ready. There's actually nothing here besides a single zealot. There's the recall.
But even with the recall, there's about maybe 2 force fields in this army so far. Obviously, you'd love to have a Guardian Shield help as well, but I mean, there's just not enough energy in the world for this.
It's very difficult, you know, and you can even, I mean, it's been a long time. For most games, it's all about the third, right? For every matchup, all about the third. Natural's kind of given away. Oh, I like that the Patience taking a hidden third, though. That's really cool. But sometimes, in desperate scenarios, you can just try and bust Protoss on a natural. Pretty difficult to do, though. You know, Force Field's pretty good at just stopping you completely. What you can do about him. So, JaeDong, he could have done some cute burrow micro, you know, try to take it out whatever he could, you know, cannons, gateways, a couple sentries, but instead he just backs up and takes care of the proxy pylon.
So, this base is cool. I'll give you that much. Whether it's good or not, we'll have to wait and see. If Patience wants to get probes over there, he's going to have to burn a recall, which means the Mothership Core won't be available for time warps, which means the Photon Overcharge won't be available at the natural. There's a lot of ways that he really can't afford to actually do a transfer for a time. So this Nexus might just end up being useless or just slowly producing probes for a while. Either way, he is trying to, I guess, fake out like he's trying to take a third at home. Clears up the Ling. More games too.
I think in this situation, with the build opener and the map and the matchup, you can really fake them out and thinking you don't have a third, you know? Whereas like if it was Dead Wing and they don't have a third, you're like, you know, like what's going on? Like, come on, it's pretty easy third. And you immediately start checking around. Here JaeDong might take a while, but no, actually, okay, nope, see, the next check. Oh, okay.
I almost checked, or maybe just felt like he safety checked. Either way, that's going to be a bit of a miss problem, because now in JaeDong's mind, he may have thought, like, okay, I checked the top right, nothing was there, I'm good to go. That's going to be really unfortunate. I like that Contaminate too, by the way, blocking out the Immortal production. A very important part of Patience's army he's missing.
He probably was checking for proxy pylons when in bases, you know? Like, he's still thinking, like, okay, it's a hard third to take. He's going to get up to Colossus before he even thinks about taking a third, because, you know, that's what you need. But we all know that the Chrono Boost is going into the probes in the top right, dumping a lot of that into that. So, you know, his Blinking +2 are going to take a while, but at least they're on their way.
Shout out to Scantless No-So, by the way, for the resub. Thank you for coming back.
Patience, I like the way that he's trying to get back from this game, but the supply is still tell a pretty, you know, desperate story.
Yeah, it's almost 3 times the supply, but I really like the mind games that are going on right now. Like the faux third base, there's so much energy on these sentries now. You know, earlier in the game was really scary because there just wasn't anything available. This army might be large out of JaeDong, but it's not going to be 130 supply versus 68. It's going to be more like 20 at a time versus 68. As long as there's force fields, he's going to be able to keep cutting and slicing up that army into tiny little sandwich meat slices.
Yeah. JaeDong is going to try and take the fights. You know, just forces out a lot of force fields, so that wasn't even that much supply that was caught there. And the Colossus is still not out. That's needed.
Also, wasn't even that many force fields burned either. Of course, you get a little bit worse as time goes on, and Hydras are going to collapse on top of the Immortals. Focusing this down is going to make sure the Roaches don't have anything to really worry about, but JaeDong's army supply is starting to falter a little bit. Real Colossus still not here on the front lines.
And that's it for the force fields, and that's it for Patience's defense.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this positioning. Like, he could have probably given up the gateway, right? Fallen back and fought with the cannons, fought with the photon overcharge. What he's doing right now, actually, precisely, and it's worked out pretty well without the army. Had he done this with the army, maybe he topples this little Hydra force left, but let's not forget, guys, Patience not stuck on one base, not stuck on 2 bases, does have this third one running in the top right.
Yeah. But he already, like, if he did what you were talking about, I agree. I think he keeps most of his army alive. The Colossus comes out, the second Colossus comes out, and JaeDong really has to start thinking about what else he can do. If there's one thing you can do against JaeDong is force him to stay on the wrong composition. Just like, you know, as a JaeDong fan, it hurts to say it, but it's true. He'll keep attacking with Roach Hydra into, like, 5 Colossus and make a mistake like that. It could have happened, but as it hasn't, and he took a really, actually quite good fight. It's okay, JaeDong's still on Roach Hydra, slowly going up to Vipers.
Yeah, just a quick little, I guess, addendum there, guys. When I'm talking about the supply differences, I'm looking at the army supplies. My bad. Because 73 probes is worthless. You can't bring 73 probes into a Hydra fight. I guess the economy is nice to have. I'm not going to argue against that, but, you know, mains mining out, no real 4th/3rd down. Pylon's coming down, and this is just going to help a little bit with cutting off force fields. He doesn't have that many left, so some additional SimCity to be made. Stalkers are blinking back to the back of the fight, but the Hydras just moved right on top of the Colossus. He has to pull these back immediately. Extend from Lens is done trying to take advantage of that range, but as he loses his fodder, I mean, Zealots need to be here on the front lines. They have to keep the Hydras from advancing.
They do a good enough job, and all the Colossus look like they might just live and be able to tear down the rest of the Hydras.
Top right was found out, by the way.
Oh, there you go. There you go. A little suspicious, like, okay, how did he afford up to 3 Colossus on only 2 bases?
This is really bad. He needed that 3rd base. This wasn't even a question of, like, okay, this was kind of cheeky and a bit of a icing on the cake type thing. Like, he really needed this base. With that economy missing, no real 3rd back at home, these sort of clutch holds that Patience was pulling off at a very small army supply, these are no longer going to be so possible. He can't afford the units necessary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, it was new Forge too. Oh, that sucks.
Oh. Well, it was supposed to be pretty safe, wasn't it?
If he had gotten some cannons down, maybe had a warp in or 2. He's actually pulled the probes with this. He's pulling the boys. The Protoss players is full of the boys!
Is he really? What is he doing? There we go, okay. So he's gonna try to attack. JaeDong's creep spread with 1 creep spread, by the way, is almost at, like, the front door of Patience, so the entire time couldn't invest into an observer.
This is gonna go down so quick to the Hydras.
Like, the burrow could happen, but he knows that observer wasn't there.
There's the Abducts, 2 Colossus fall. I think JaeDong's got this, though. This is such a weird, cool game. GG. Well played. JaeDong, ladies and gentlemen, takes a lead in the series 2-1. But not a finish. Again, reminding you, this is not a best of 3, but indeed a best of